Naruto is an iconic, inspirational main character from the early 2000s. Back in the day, there was no one else like him. If you're someone like me who was born in the very late 90s and was mostly raised in the early 2000s, then we probably both missed watching Dragon Ball Z in its heyday. Instead, we had a little kid dressed in the same recognizable iconic clothing as the main character Goku, not nearly as heroic as the main character that came before him, but for our generation, Naruto was our new Goku in a history point of view. We also had two other main characters from that same era named Ichigo Kurosaki and Monkey D. Luffy. Bleach was aired on a much later time schedule, so a lot of kids didn't necessarily have the chance to grow up with Bleach like we did with Naruto. Bleach, from a business perspective, was aimed for young teenagers. As for One Piece, not too many people had the proper opportunity to watch One Piece correctly compared to the other two series in the big three. As we all know, One Piece had really bad marketing dub licensing issues until it was pulled from the television completely. And the time Funimation picked it up and gave it the justice it deserved, Bleach and both Naruto were way ahead into their stories, and they already became the iconic main characters from that era. So in some degree, there were a lot of kids who didn't grow up with One Piece the proper way compared to the other two in the big three. While Bleach was aimed for young teens, those who grew up with Naruto first grew up eventually and picked up Bleach, and we ended up having battles between which series was better. Even though Goku was the proper heroic main character before Naruto came out, Naruto without a doubt was the most heroic main character of our generation, where some of us thought and believed he was the only main character that was inspirational, strong with words, and his power to never give up was heroic and iconic. Back in the days, there were people who loved Bleach, and there were also those who could not figure out what was Bleach about? What is the main character's Ichigo's goal? And some people even gave up on the series and believed Naruto was the superior main character because his series had everything else that Bleach did not have. And from the last generation who watched and did remember Dragon Ball Z, for them, Naruto was like the second main character they could connect with on a heroic level, and from an inspirational point of view. And this is when my analysis on Naruto comes in. Naruto was someone who acknowledged being picked on, being bullied, and people who did not like him was something that would make him strong in spirit. Take a negative situation and turn it into a positive situation. There were some kids who did not have the power to stand up for themselves, but when they watched Naruto, to them, he was their inspiration to not allow people to bring you down no matter what. One of the most iconic lines ever is when Naruto says there are no shortcuts in becoming what you want in life. Basically, you have to work for it. Naruto's smile to cover up his pain is also a good example of trying to live a decent life even though you're hurting inside. Back in the day, there was no other main character like him. Those who just grew up with the series that they grew up with and didn't know anything else that came before him. So for everyone else around that time and age, Naruto was completely original to us and something completely different. Naruto had just about everything you could ever want in a main character. He had comedic moments. There were times where Naruto had depressing, relatable, dark situations that we all could relate and bond with him instantly. There were times where Naruto would threaten people's lives in order to protect the people he cared about more than his own life. So in all honesty, back in this time period of shonen anime and manga, Naruto was considered the best main character of his generation. But, as sadly as I have to admit this, time has changed. One Piece is the king of shonen right now. It's no longer in that dark place anymore. Bleach as an anime and Ichigo as a main character gets so much more love and respect and gratitude today. Ichigo is considered more chilled and relaxed and quite more relatable than ever now, than how people used to look at him years ago. As for Naruto Uzumaki, the character based on this video, Naruto as of right now has a very mixed fanbase. Some people love him still, and some people extremely don't know how they feel about him anymore. Due to the not well-received final arc of the Naruto series, the ending changed everyone's perspective on the main character that we all grew up with and loved. And we can't escape from this fact. It's the reality that we live in. Naruto used to be a symbol for inspiration. His speeches were everything to us growing up, and the way he lived his life gave us motivation to keep our lives in check. But at the end of the day, Naruto without a doubt had a time and place where he meant everything to everyone, and he still deeply does. It's just time has changed on him. But we can't forget the most iconic highlights of his character, the Shadow Clone Jutsu, the very iconic Rasengan, so many memories with this attack, and the most loved and hated line of Naruto, the Believe It English line. But before the video ends, I wanted to inform everyone Kishimoto's birthday is today. He turned 48. I wanted to release this video on his birthday while praising his most loved character, Naruto Uzumaki. I am Delix, subscribe if you want, and stay as you're weird, and have a good night. Bye.